Hello everyone, back to you into today's video. We're going to have a look at the cooler weather that's on the way. I've been talking about this over the last few videos and yesterday in the weekend forecast. Temperatures will be sliding away this week into near normal temperatures really by the latter stages of the week. But by the time we get through to the weekend, next weekend, actually signs that it could turn really quite cold, and we may have to start thinking about a little bit of snow turning up, would you believe, over the British Isles next weekend. Now for a go video, I just want to talk about the advertising. There'll usually be a video ad overlay my web videos at GavsMobileBiz.com. Please favour those video ads, you'll be supporting GavsMobileBiz.com by doing that. And I want to mention Gav Shop. You can go through to Gav Shop from the Gav Shop button just underneath this video player. Go through to Gav Shop and then click on the Amazon.co.uk banner. Go through to Amazon, get all your January sales bargains, and you'll be supporting GavsMobileBiz.com at the same time. And thanks very much for doing that. So we've got the stratospheric warming taking place today. Actually, I've been talking about stratospheric warming since the new year. It's going on today, so that's the first signs really of the change in the pattern through the northern hemisphere. When you get a stratospheric warming over the Arctic, it'll propagate down, or it can propagate down into the troposphere. They don't always, actually, these warmings, they don't always go down to the troposphere, but it looks like this one is going to. When the warming goes down into the troposphere, then it can set up blocking areas of high pressure up over the pole. It's where those blocks set up really that determines whether then the block feeds out cold air into the mid-latitudes. You have to think of high pressure really as warming in the atmosphere, a warm wedge of air in the atmosphere. And when you get a warm wedge of air over the pole, then you start to push the cold air that's already established over the cold, bitterly cold of course, over the Arctic. You start to push that down into the mid-latitudes, and it's just where the block's set up really that determines where that cold air feeds out. Anyway, first thing we're going to look at is the temperatures for the coming few nights. This is the minimum temperature on Monday night into Tuesday morning. So this is 6 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. We can see it's pretty mild really across many parts of the country. Temperatures into the mid-single figures, around 4, 5, 6, 7. One or two places up to 8 degrees, so frost-free really on Monday night. And on Tuesday night into Wednesday, this is 6 o'clock Wednesday morning again, temperatures are generally frost-free, maybe a little bit of frost for Scotland, a little bit for Ireland. That's because we're on the cooler side now of the cold front that's coming down across the country, but really it's another frost-free night again on Tuesday night into Wednesday. As we go into Wednesday night into Thursday, though, then we start to see some frost coming into the mix. We've got temperatures widely here going down to freezing, -1. Maybe we can take that a degree or two lower, -2, -3 possible on Wednesday night into Thursday. And then Friday, the signal again, Friday morning, 6 o'clock, is for another frosty start on Friday morning, with temperatures again down to -1, -2 degrees in places. And then some really hard frost starting to set in as we go through into the weekend. So you get the impression from this that it's getting colder as we go into the weekend. Temperatures through the second half of this week around the cool category really. It will be cool, but you get the impression from this with temperatures down to -3, -4. Go lower with that, probably -5 or -6, but it is getting colder as we go into the weekend. And again on Sunday morning, 6 o'clock Sunday morning, so this is a week away, very cold really across the country, really hard frost setting up. And look how cold it is across much of the continent as well. Much of France down to -4, Germany down as low as -8, going into Poland down as low as -10. And you can take a few more degrees off that really. These models always underestimate frost really, so I think much of France will be getting down to around -8, -9 as we go through towards next weekend. And out into the east of Europe, we're bitterly cold by then, with temperatures into the minus double digits, so we'll be turning a lot colder I think at the weekend. So we've got this area of high pressure building up over Scandinavia on Thursday, and that's really the prelude to start to bring some colder air in across the country. Now this is the GFS model that we're starting with this morning. What the GFS this morning, the midnight run of the GFS wants to do is to bring that high pressure down across the country and really sit it over the top of the British Isles. It is feeding in that cold air. The cold air is coming off the continent, but this isn't particularly wintry because there's not much low pressure around. Really into high pressure with this, so it's not particularly snowy. There's no real snowfall or wintry weather going on with this. It's just dry, cold and increasingly frosty at night. But not all of the models agree with this, but the GFS has how it's developed through the midnight run. Not all of the models agree with this, and the ECMWF this morning is very, very interesting because that has this area of high pressure again towards Scandinavia on Thursday, bringing down this cooler air from the north or the northeast. But as we go beyond that, the ECMWF then starts to bring in an area of low pressure to the south of the country. Notice that high pressure much further north over Scandinavia and stretching out to the north of Scotland, feeding in the cold air, and we've got this area of low pressure running into that cold air. Now Friday, this is for Friday, it's not particularly cold. This is the -5 isotherm here just to the east of the country. That's really indicating where the cold air is. So on Friday we're probably looking at rain coming in with this area of low pressure. But as we go beyond this to Saturday, this is Saturday the 12th of January, we've got this area of low pressure sitting here to the south of the country, and now we're bringing in very cold air from the east. If you follow the isobars back, the isobars are going right way back into the east of Europe and actually in towards western Russia. So we're bringing in very cold air from the east. We've still got this area of low pressure down to the south. This could well be producing heavy rain along the south coast, but you wouldn't probably have to go far inland to find some of that turning wintry. There's the upper air temperatures, but -5 isotherm now has cleared just about the whole of the country, and we're showing signs of bringing in the -10 isotherm to the east of the country. So this is a signal for it to be cold, very cold next weekend, with this easterly wind and precipitation likely in the south. On the northern edge of that precipitation, you would be expecting some of it to be falling as snow. And as we go beyond this, the area of high pressure sets up more towards Iceland, but we're still maintaining this cold east to northeasterly flow across England and Wales. We've still got this low pressure across France. This will probably be feeding in snow showers to the east of the country. So we definitely have to start thinking about some wintry weather, I think, turning up next weekend if the ECMWF is correct. With GEM, the Canadian model, again, we've got this area of low pressure down to the southwest of the country, or high pressure is up over Scandinavia on Friday. Initially, this is coming into not desperately cold air, just cool air. So we're looking at rain really coming across many parts of the country through Friday. But as we go into Saturday, where we're still bringing in cooler air from the east, we're actually bringing in colder air now, and we've still got the low pressure down to the southwest. So there's a weather front strung out here across Ireland, England and Wales, and on the northern and eastern flank of that weather front, we will be expecting snow because we're starting to feed in some very cold air from the east at this point. And as we go beyond this to a week away, Sunday the 13th of January, that low pressure is still maintained there just to the southwest of the country. We've still got some sort of weather front strung out across Ireland, England and Wales, still bringing in this cold easterly flow. So again, you will be expecting some snow. Now in the south, you'd be expecting rainfall, but again, wherever the battle line is set up on the northern eastern flank of that weather front, you would be expecting snowfall from that. And then just going beyond this very quickly to the 10-day period, the ECMWF, we're back to ECM, wants to take that high pressure up towards Greenland, and we're showing signs of opening the floodgates to a really cold northerly wind setting up from the Arctic. And the GEM is very similar. It doesn't retrogress that high pressure up to Greenland quite to the same extent as the ECM, but it's the same sort of idea, taking that high pressure and beginning to ridge it to the north. So that would set us up then, if that came off, for a very prolonged and sharp northerly blast across the country going out into the second half of January. Now that's quite speculative, and that's really down to the stratospheric warming more than anything else, due to blocks set up in a position around Greenland to start to introduce that northerly wind. But in any case, it's getting cooler, and it looks as though the weekend is going to be turning quite cold, and we do have to start thinking about some snow turning up across the country at the weekend. Now where that's going to be, it's far too early to say, so I'll obviously be keeping you updated with this, but certainly interesting patterns emerging this morning. Things start to get very interesting now. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.